What do you think? The divide and conquer thing that people have tried for years is going to work because cool guys doing it?
They've been trying to do that with Anthony and I for...
Oh, forever.
Well, we've been doing this 10 years now. For 10
years. Before we even started, when at BAB they were trying divide and conquer. Before we were even technically working together, that was being attempted. And then Jimmy on board.
Well, it's a pretty interesting story because I was doing nights at WBAB and doing pretty well on my own. You know, I did all right. And then, Anthony and I got together and we knew we had something and we knew we were going to take it really far. We knew right off the bat, within our first week of broadcasting, that we had something that was pretty cool. So then, I went to BAB and said, look, man, we're doing nights. We were getting a buzz because Ant was doing my show off and on for like 3 or 4 months. I'm like, we're getting a really good buzz here. And, you got some dead weights in the other slots. Let's be honest here. Move us up. Move us up. We want to stay. We're from Long Island. Just move us up and we'll stay. And they pretty much didn't go for that idea. So I'm like, all right. I basically said, I'm going to go find us another gig. I sent out 3 tapes. All 3 places wanted us. Yep. It was Dallas, it was WAAF, and I forgot the third one now. I think it was Cleveland or something like that. And then, no, where the hell was it? It wasn't Cleveland. I don't want to make this. I don't remember. So then we chose AAF. Yeah. And what BAB decided, instead of wishing us well, they had a shot to keep us. They decided, well, no, we're going to break them up right away. Then they decided, because Anthony was a Long Island guy too, they pulled him into a closed-door meeting and said, look, we want to give you Opie's show. Yeah, they were going to then give me... This was after 3 years of dedication to WBAB being the only show in recent years that had any type of buzz. Yeah. At all. And this is the thanks I got. Opie, even though we went to them first and said, look, just keep us, just move us up and we'll stay here, man. Yeah. So we got the gig. We were going. No, but explain what they said to you behind closed doors. It was amazing. Because Anthony, at this point, I mean, you got to remember, it's 10 years ago. Right. Raw talent, all that. We all know, Dude, what Anthony does. It was after we got the gig and we were going to go to AAF that they came to me, knowing now that we have a job together. Me and Ope, we're going to AAF. They came to me and said, we want you to take over Opie's slot, doing the 7 to midnight shift at BAB. Whatever you need, we'll put it in place. It'll be great. I think you're going to do well. And trying then to get, which would screw up the gig in Boston. I'm sure Ope would go there and do great anyway. Well, what happened was they had hired us together. And well, what happened with the AAF gig, I don't think we've ever told this. Ron Valeri heard just me at the time. And he was going to give me nights at AF, the same shift I was doing at BAB. Yep. But then I was like, well, Ron, that's cool, and I'm ready to move on. But I just started working with this new guy, Anthony, and I want you to hear some tapes because I think it's really cool stuff. Because they had Afternoon Drive open as well. Yep. So when I sent the tapes, they went, oh, my God, we'll throw you guys an Afternoon Drive tomorrow. They couldn't believe it. So there we are, Afternoon Drive. So at the worst, I guess I could have moved up there and did my nights at AF, and Anthony could have done nights at BAB. Yeah, I could have taken Opie's old job and left them up there, not in afternoons. What type of scumbag? Well, it's the business. Move is that? The business is filled with scumbags like that. So when you find people you trust around you, you keep them close, and then you fight everybody else. So that was the first, divide and conquer that they tried, and that didn't work. And the numerous ones after that didn't work. Well, the best one after that was Dave Dickless Douglas up there, our first program director, who I have no respect for whatsoever, had no clue what talent was all about. One day we're getting ready for our show, and I'm getting coffee, and we were only on the job, I don't know, probably less than a month, so we're still getting our, quote, sea legs and figuring it all out. And Dave kind of, comes into the coffee area as I'm getting ready to get my cup of coffee and start the show with Anthony. And he goes, yeah, I got a question for you. I'm like, yeah, Dave? He goes, why Anthony? He was ready to divide and conquer right there. Like, why Anthony? Why? Because he was one of these PDs. Already Ant and I had personalities, and we were gonna do a lot of talking, even though there was music. And I think his logic was, no, I was brought in here. It's a music station. It's known as a music station. It was called the only station that really rocks. So it would go against his whole master plan, which was a lot of music, a lot of stupid interviews with boring musical guests saying nothing. And he didn't hire us. And he didn't hire us. So right there, he was trying to feel me out. If maybe, I don't know. I'm just going to say, I think maybe just keep me to spin stupid tunes and
get rid of me
and not talk as much and get rid of Anthony.
That's Dave Dickless.
And then I was just like, well, why Anthony? Because he's like probably like the most talented guy out there right now. You idiot.
Stupid Dave Dickless.
Have you listened to the show at all? You idiot.
That made a great working relationship after that.
Of course.
That ass Dave Dickless, and look at where he ended up. Buried. Look at, we're doing just fine. Thank you, Dave Dickless. And then the other ones where we'd go in for negotiations, and they would be shocked and flabbergasted that we didn't negotiate behind each other's backs.
Right.
They couldn't understand us
guys
going
like Don
into the
and
office.
Mike and the rest of them. They all do their negotiations behind the scenes because
separate.
Yeah, they're trying to get more money than the other guy.
Right.
But then they go into a studio like we're doing here and act like they're the best of pals and stuff. So they're like, well, we're going to start your negotiations. This is now, 2 years down the road or whatever. And they're like, we scheduled your meeting, Opie, for 10 a.m. and Anthony will be at 11:30. And Anthony and I look at each other like, no, sorry. We do this together. And we're just amazed. Absolutely amazed.
Divide and conquer. Always.
You pay him $28,000 and you pay him $28,000.
That was great stuff.
But they couldn't believe it because they were going to nickel and dime both of us, and then it would be our jobs to try to get as much money as possible. We're like, no,
right?
We're in this together. Simple as this.
Yeah, there's a budget for the show. And then they figured whichever one of us could duke it out the best would get more of that piece of pie.
Right.
And they wouldn't want the other one to know that they got more. So, no. You go in there together, beat up on the bosses, and get more than's in the budget. That's the trick.
And we take the good with the bad, too, because when we did the mayor's prank, where Mayor Menino died in the fake car accident. I mean, he didn't die, but our April Fool's prank, that was my bit. Basically, he could have thrown me under the bus.
Right, I could have been there. I could have been Rocco's partner.
He probably could have saved his ass, but Anthony knew we were in this together. So.
It's the Rocco and Anthony show. It's no mention Opie ever existed, like a phony radio people do.
Mean, technically, Anthony had nothing to do with the planning of that bit. He went along with it on the air and all that, but I mean. If you think about it, he could have probably groveled to the bosses and saved his ass.
I was the misinfo of that
yeah, exactly.
situation.
But we've been in this together, the good and the bad. So when stupid guys like Cool Guy come along and try to do this divide and conquer, Opie's cool, but that Jim's a faggot or whatever he said. I don't know, because I'm not really listening that closely. It's stupid. It's not going to work.
A mile away.
Because now Norton is part of the gang. He's been part of the gang for many years now. I mean, it's funny. Some people still look at Norton as the new guy. Norton's been working with us pretty much full time for 3 years.
And I believe me, cannot wait until we all walk into a room together, the three of us. Ooh, I can't wait to all go see Hugh and sit down.
Sit down together, all of us? When's that happening?
Oh, wow, that's a great line.
Damn.
Boy, have fun with that line, because that's never going to
Yeah, I
happen.
know. But it's still, I can dream. I'll probably get to go in with Ben and Steve.
Oh.
But that's what it was. It was trying to divide and conquer. Like, that's Psych 101. Do you really think that's going to work?
That ain't going to work. Stop it.